Good afternoon, all. Welcome from Patakala College of Commerce and Management. In our lecture today, we are going to discuss foundation of corporate communication. In this lecture, we are not going to discuss the entire part, but some element of this chapter. Foundation of corporate communication. The first point we will analyze is meaning and definition of corporate communication. We know communication means interaction, or we can say passing on of information from one person to another person. But here we are not just discussing communication, we are discussing corporate communication. So here we need to discuss the concept corporate communication. It refers to the way in which business and organization communicate with internal and external various audiences. Here we can see that how the organization is going to communicate with internal and external audiences. Now this audience, I said, it can be internal, it can be external. So it will include some people, some we can say stakeholders like customers and potential customers, employees, then investors, banks, general public, media, and so on. So here we can see that how a business is going to communicate with all these people. It can be in the form of written communication, it can be in the form of verbal communication, or it can be in the form of photographs or illustrations. But how we communicate with all those type of people will be the part of corporate communication. Further, we need to discuss the scope of corporate communication. Scope of corporate communication, that is, where are we going to use corporate communication? The very first and the most important thing, we are going to use corporate communication for organizational development. Corporate communication will be used for organizational development. How? In very simple terms, we can see that a corporate communication will develop a model in which we can communicate with the external stakeholders like customers. अभी जब हम कस्टमर के साथ इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन रखेंगे, then we can see that the customers will get attached towards us, and they will effectively have demand for us, and this in overall terms will lead to organizational development. Second most important scope of corporate communication is coordinating the functions of various departments. देखो, in the earlier part of your syllabus you might have studied that there are various managerial functions. I simplify them as PODC, planning, organizing, directing, controlling. Along with this there are many other things, but हर एक फंक्शन का प्रॉपर कोऑर्डिनेशन होना चाहिए, साथ ही साथ में departmental coordinations भी होने चाहिए. Otherwise what happens, if we do not have proper departmental communications or coordination, then we may not be able to achieve organizational goals. Like say for example, sales department sets a target to have uh, the sales getting doubled this year. But before setting up this objective, the sales department also has to coordinate with the production department. Now, after analyzing the production department, we came to know that we do not have capacity to produce double the sales of the last year. तो अभी हम भले टारगेट सेल्स डबल करने का रख रहे हैं, बट suppose if the production department does not have that much capability to produce that much unit, then definitely it cannot be done. या तो फिर अभी प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट ने भी एग्री कर दिया, हाँ हो सकता है, बट both this department have to coordinate with the finance department. पता चला ये दोनों टारगेट्स अचीव करने के लिए रख रहे हैं, हम प्रोडक्शन डबल करेंगे, सेल्स डबल कर देंगे, but the finance department says we don't have liquidity of funds for these productive activities, then automatically you will not be able to achieve the goals. So corporate communication will be highly useful for coordinating such functions of various departments. Reputation building. Corporate communication is also very much useful for building up the reputation for the organizations. Remember that if we communicate effectively to the people, you can reach masses, and this reaching of the masses can help you to build reputation for your organization. Employees communication. See, employees are an integral part of any business organization, and as a business or as an organization, you have to have effective communication with your employees so that they can help you to achieve your targets, achieve your goals. Communicating with the stakeholders. Stakeholders are the people who are associated with the organizations. जैसे we can say investors, consumers, government, banks, etc. etc. All those people who are associated directly or indirectly with organizations are called stakeholders. So, as an organization, we need to communicate with those stakeholders on time to time basis. Crisis communication. We can see that there can be crisis communication in the organizations. Now we discuss need, importance, or we can say significance of corporate communication. Now, why is corporate communication important? Corporate communication is firstly important to have corporate branding. It is useful for corporate branding. How? How it will help to have corporate branding? If we communicate effectively with the customers, with the public, then the people will know about your company, the people will know about your products, and that will create awareness, and that awareness will create branding. Then another important aspect of corporate communication is helps in strategy implementation. Now see, whenever you are going to formulate some strategy, the strategies are formulated for achieving some targets, some goals. So unless and until you don't communicate your strategy with your subordinates, you will not be able to achieve the goals, you will not be able to achieve the targets. So you need to communicate effectively with your subordinates in order to have proper implementation of the strategy which is formulated by the top management. Helps client development and sustenance. See, it not only helps to attract new consumers or new clients, but also helps to sustain, that is to maintain the existing clients. If we have effective communication for any business to have effective, or we can say sustainable business, it is very important for a business to acquire trust. अभी इनको ट्रस्ट किसके पास से एक्वायर करना है? So you need to acquire trust from employees, from vendors, that is suppliers, customers, business associates, and so on. अभी क्या हो जाता है? If we have an honest and effective communication with all these people, they will definitely stand always with our organization and will help to have better client development and sustaining the existing clients. Next part is helps in sales enhancement. It is useful to increase the sales. How? How? If we take example that some big corporate houses which are now working at international level, what do they do is they always concentrate betterment of their quality. Abhi, improving the quality is not just for expanding the business, but also they have to come up with न्यू बिजनेस. न्यू बिजनेस तो चाहिए, साथ में हम एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर्स को भी रिटेन कर सकें. क्या हो जाता है, लाइक इफ वी डू नॉट हैव इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन, वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू डील विद कस्टमर इश्यूज, we will not be able to solve their problems and so on. So if we really want to increase the sales, enhance the sales, we need to have effective communication with our customers. Helps in information development and dissemination. See, क्या होता है, if the communication is effective, it will minimize the chance of misunderstanding. I mean, if there is misunderstanding in an organization, that will always result into conflicts. So effective communication will develop the information, and definitely it will help out to have effective communication throughout the organization. Enables crisis management. Corporate communication will help to have crisis management. Now, what do you mean by crisis? Can anybody of you help me to know what is meaning of crisis? The simple meaning of the word crisis is a situation which is dangerous. A situation which is dangerous. Abhi aaj jaise we can take up example. 2-3 days back, the weather department highlighted red alert for Mumbai, and this red alert for Mumbai resulted into danger situation for the people. So immediately the government department announced holidays for school and college going students. वो सिर्फ अनाउंस नहीं किया, उन्होंने न्यूज मीडिया दिया, उन्होंने ट्विटर यूज किया, they have sent messages, they have informed the schools, the school in turn informed to the students. How this crisis was managed? Due to effective communication. The next one we have is develops global competence. The corporate communication helps to develop global competence. We can have effective communication not only at national level but also at international level. And it will help to have overall competition at the international level. Builds a sense of teamwork. See, team spirit is one of the most important requirement in any business organization. Remember, teamwork or team spirit is not only related to business, but also it is related to our day-to-day activity. So effective corporate communication will help to build team spirit, which in turn will generate efficiency for the organization. And when there is definitely efficiency in an organization, the customer services will get improved. So this is about the basics of corporate communication.